The story of this patient is a 28 years old gentleman. He works as a PRO of a laboratory.
Okay.
Okay, carry on.
There are red spots over skin for 2 weeks. Pain in the ankle joints for 10 days. There's abdominal pain for 2 days.
Yes.
Any viral infection involving the joints?
Now, can you just tell what are the red spots commonly seen over the skin?
Usually post dengue, there will be rashes or red spots over the skin.
Yes. Any other situation? So, group of infections can put it. Non-infective things.
Non-infective.
Any hematological thing?
Platelets.
Pardon?
Purpura.
Purpura, very good. So, it can be purpura.
Yes.
Purpura. Okay. Let's go to the next step. It's an ankle joint.
Yes.
What all things you want to know?
Is it bilateral or unilateral?
It is more on one side, but both sides are affected.
Yes, sir. Is it progressive or?
So it's only 10 days. So it is an acute process.
Okay.
Not a time for us to decide.
Swelling, associated swelling.
There is swelling. There is swelling. So it's not arthralgia, maybe it's arthritis. And the third complaint of this patient is your abdominal pain. Significant amount of abdominal pain, colic in nature. What all things you want to know?
Yeah. Any pharyngitis?
Pardon?
Any previous history of pharyngitis in last 1-2 weeks?
Yes, he had.
Maybe post infectious pharyngitis involving the joints with a rash, like enoxaparin purpura.
That's a good possibility here. So what other question you want to ask this patient?
Any complaints of hematuria?
He has not noticed.
Any frothy urine? Any abnormalities in micturition?
So far no. Okay, good. So you have already considered the possibility of enoxaparin purpura. You also said possibility of viral fever.
Yes.
So differential diagnosis in relation to skin lesion you have mentioned. Joint pains, we have to consider all types of acute arthritis. You said rheumatic fever possibility.
Yes.
But along with the two other complaints, rheumatic fever looks unlikely.
Yes.
Okay, so any cause of acute arthritis you have considered, and abdominal pain as also you have considered. But tell me some medical causes for abdominal pain. Peptic ulcer is surgical also. Okay, any other medical problems? Exclusively our side.
Acute abdominal pain.
Can you get abdominal myocardial infarction?
Yes,
epigastric pain, pericardial pain, myocardial pain. Can you get pleuritic pain referred to the hypochondria? You can have. Can you get pain from the nerve roots that radiate to the abdomen?
Yes, sir.
Yes. You root pains. Can you get pre-hepatic and post-hepatic neuralgia?
Yes, sir.
Abdominal wall. Okay. Can you get pain abdomen in porphyria?
Yes, sir. We can.
Yes. What about diabetes?
Diabetic nephropathy.
Ketoacidosis, uremia can have abdominal pain. Tell me some hematological causes for abdominal pain.
Hematological causes, sir.
Yes. One you already mentioned, enoxaparin purpura.
Enoxaparin purpura.
Yes, you have sickle cell anemia.
Yes, sir. Sickle crisis.
The sickle crisis can have. That's right. Can you tell some vascular causes?
Mesenteric ischemia.
The secondary ischemia in old people. Yes, very good. Rupture of the aortic aneurysm.
Aortic aneurysm.
And vasculitis like enoxaparin purpura can have abdominal pain.
Yes, diverticulitis.
That's right. Can you tell some poisons, toxins which can put abdominal pain?
Any toxin might produce pain.
Long-term poisoning, any occupation, producing encephalopathy, wrist drop, foot drop,
Deposition. Lead poison.
lead poisoning, brilliant. And then any electrolyte abnormalities can you get? Hypercalcemia is one,
Hypercalcemia.
which can also, so wide varieties of causes can produce hypertriglyceridemia, producing pancreatitis. So medical causes are ever so many. Very good. So history of all those things has to be asked. The skin lesions are red. They are non-itchy, painless.
Painless, scattered below the umbilicus.
That means no rash seen above umbilicus.
Okay, sir.
Then
Below the umbilicus. The ankle pain is bilateral with minimal swelling.
no
There is
early morning stiffness.
No early morning stiffness.
Other
Other joint
joints are all
pain. Spade.
tired. What else in history you want?
Any previous history of infection, sore throat, sir? Other than that,
Yes. So inoxidable purpura, which are the factors that can precipitate? You're talking about the precipitating factor. Yes. So what all things can trigger?
previous pharyngitis can trigger.
Streptococcus infection. Very good. Yes.
sir.
Infection with the viruses can produce. Yes. Then insect bites can
Yes,
sometimes precipitate, and very rarely vaccination also postulated as a cause for
Inoxidable.
inoxidable purpura. So the picture has not come here. Sorry for that. Okay.
Okay.
So as per that, you can see the palpable purpuric lesions. So can you define the purpura?
Purpura is a raised skin lesion which is red.
Is there a particular size below which is called petechiae?
Yes, sir. Petechiae are very small. Purpura are comparatively larger.
And ecchymosis is larger.
Yes, sir.
So is it palpable purpuras?
Yes, sir. Palpable.
Purpuras are commonly not palpable. So purpuras can be divided into palpable purpuras and non-palpable purpuras.
Okay,
So
sir.
palpable purpuras indicates there is vasculitis.
Okay, sir.
Is meningococcal meningitis, you can have palpable purpura. Cryoglobulinemia is another situation, you can have palpable purpura.
Okay, sir.
Inoxidation is another condition where you can have palpable purpura.
Okay, sir.
This purpura here has got some peculiar distribution. You see that seen below umbilicus only.
Yes, sir.
So what do you make out of that?
Maybe certain only certain dermatomes are.
It is a peculiarity of inoxidable purpura that it is predilection is for the lower part of the body.
Okay.
You can have upper limb also, no problem, but commonly this is area. So looking at the distribution, you will be able to sometimes get a clue regarding purpura.
Okay.
You see, when you have purpuras around your eyes, you may think of amyloidosis.
Okay.
When you have bleeding spots around your hair follicles, you think about scurvy. Okay, so here's a clue that the palpable purpura umbilicus, it gives clue that
Smallly edges.
okay, and ankles are
Movements are normal. Ankles are swollen, grade 2 tenderness present, and they are warm.
that means they are inflamed.
Yes, sir.
The movements are
Normal.
so not deforming, no deformity seen,
Yes, sir.
and the range of movement is normal, no permanent damage.
Okay, sir.
System examination was normal.
Yes, sir.
So what next? What's the provisional diagnosis?
Considering the lesions being involving the mostly lower limb with the previous history of sore throat, I would favor HSP, sir.
That's good. So what investigations you want?
We can take the skin biopsy lesion and
Simple things.
simple.
Would you like to look at the hemogram of this patient?
Yes, sir.
What do you expect? What do you expect to find in case of the platelet count?
Platelets will be normal, sir.
Normal, okay. So you want to have a basic workup of this patient, and it rules out the possibility of immune thrombocytopenia purpura, no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Platelets are
So
normal.
this points to diagnosis of Kinox-Schulin. Now the term is
IgA vasculitis.
IgA vasculitis. So which are the organs commonly affected?
Skin, joints, abdomen, mesenteric involvement in the abdomen, and renal IgA nephropathy can happen.
And mucosa. So these are areas commonly involved in these patients. So what is happening in these patients?
Because of some infectious etiology previously, there will be increased production of IgA. IgA polymers, to be specific, sir. IgA polymers will be abnormal, so they get deposited in various organs like kidneys, blood vessels, causing the manifestations. Generally, HSP generally tends to occur in children less than 20 years.
Even the prognosis is very good.
Yes, sir.
But still there can be recurrence.
Okay.
In adults, complications are more, and they go for remitting and relapsing pattern. So you look at the clinical manifestations, purpura is a must to make a diagnosis of Kinox-Schulin purpura, 100% seen. It's usually palpable and heterogeneous characteristic distribution. What about features of arthritis?
Arthritis normally involves large joints compared to small joints.
And it is seen or not in 100%,
Okay.
80%. It is a predilection for large joints, as you said, and predominantly the lower limb is the common one things affected, but upper limbs can also be affected. But the important point is acute arthritis, and it is non-erosive and doesn't produce any permanent deformities.
Okay, sir.
Comes and goes like that.
Okay.
And abdominal pain is seen in 65% only. So you look at the purpura 100%, arthritis 80%, and abdominal pain only 65%. And the percentage will be as colic, nausea, vomiting.
Yes.
There may be bleeding into the mucosa. If it becomes larger, that may be the focus on which an interception takes place. The rare surgical complication is also there. And the fourth organ to be affected is the
Renal.
and presentations are,
Hematuria, proteinuria.
and the adult sometimes can go to see chronic kidney disease, not children.
Okay, sir.
Children usually do not. Okay. So what are the predictors of progress to chronic kidney disease?
Late onset, like in adults.
That's good. Yes.
Proteinuria, high BP.
And proteinuria more than 1 gram is no good. And if it persists, then you'll have to go for biopsy. So what's the pathogenesis?
Sir, it is the abnormal trigger causing increased production of IgA, mainly IgA polymers than monomers, which will get deposited in various organs like mucosa, blood vessels, kidneys, and abdominal vessels, causing the manifestations.
So,
Like sensitivity reaction.
so what will be the differential diagnosis of purpura?
ITP.
ITP is not palpable, yes. So look at that platelet count, low platelet count with ITP and TTP. TTP, what are the clinical features usually?
TTP usually there will be more renal, so more CNS manifestations.
That's right, hemolysis.
Yes, sir.
Hemolysis.
Hemolysis will be there on the peripheral spine.
And platelet count will be low in those two situations, but HSP platelet count is normal. So simple platelet count can tell you first of all, if it is low, then don't consider possibility of HSP.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So palpable purpura makes us to think about cryoglobulinemia also as a possibility.
Okay.
Cryoglobulinemia is usually the peripheral neuropathy and palpable purpura.
Okay.
Meningococcal septicemia can have palpable purpura.
Okay.
So HSP diagnosis based on symptoms and signs, and then histopathology can help you, as you already said. Criteria are there.
Yes, sir. Palpable purpura, abdominal pain, hematuria, age less than 20 years. 3 or more indicates HSP.
There are many associations. American Rheumatic Association, British Rheumatic Association. Everybody makes their own criteria for diseases, and so that literature will tell you so many criteria. European League Against Rheumatism also have their own criteria also.
Okay, sir.
Okay. And what are they?
Palpable purpura, a must, and then one or more of the following, like arthritis, at least one joint, hematuria or proteinuria, any one of them, diffuse abdominal pain, IgA deposition in the skin biopsy. So palpable purpura, any one of the following will confirm the diagnosis.
Differential diagnosis. SLE is one possibility.
Yes, sir.
Meningococcal sepsis is another one. Cryoglobulin we already mentioned.
Yes,
and precipitating factors already we discussed.
yes.
And kidney biopsy is done only if the proteinuria persists for long time and more than 1 gram.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what do you expect to find?
We expect in mesangial proliferative pattern, sir, and also in immunofluorescence technique we see granular deposits confined to the mesangium.
There will be infiltration by cells.
Yes, sir.
And sometimes then crescent.
Yes, sir. Crescent formation in a closest to RPGN.
That's right. So we have a lot of criteria. It's a simple diagnosis. How do you treat these patients?
Steroids, sir.
Steroids do not alter the course of the disease. It commonly gives symptomatic treatment.
Yes.
If this purpura becomes ulcerated, you give them antibiotics. And if they are resistant to treatment, you may go for steroids.
Okay.
Okay. If the kidneys are affected and you do bone marrow and all, then you have to go for, kidney biopsies are done. Then commonly you go for IV methylprednisolone, and resistant cases maybe cyclophosphamide, dipyridamole, IVIG and so on. Commonly, a short course of steroids may help to relieve the symptoms of the patient and the purpura also resolve. But there's always chance that it recurs, but reassurance is the clue.
Okay, sir.
Management. So final diagnosis in these cases?
HSP, which is now called as IgA vasculitis.
IgA vasculitis. So relatively young person.
Yes, sir.
Okay.